Good day everyone and welcome back to the Your Average Gamer channel. In this video I'm going to be carrying on my review of lesser used weapons in Caldera and seeing how they stack up in the current meta. The gameplay this time is a little bit different as I'm not exclusively showing solo gameplay. This is actually from a duos game that I played with a friend. In this I'm going to be looking at and reviewing the Modern Warfare M4A1. The M4 is a weapon that's always been popular with Warzone players, ever since the first inception of the game. Reasons for this being is it's one of the first guns that you get, regardless of level. It also has good consistent recoil, reasonably high damage, and can also be built in a variety of ways, ranging from an SMG build with the 10mm rounds, sniper support with the pretty clear iron sights, and also the build that I'm going to be using in this game as a long-range beamer. It's easy to see why this weapon is so widely used as well when you look at some of its stats. So to begin with, in the first damage range, which is out to 27 meters, this weapon does 40 damage to the head and 27 damage everywhere else. That's neck, chest, lower torso, arms, all of it's 27 damage. So this means that the weapon is extremely consistent, so wherever you hit, you're almost always going to need the same number of bullets to kill, so you can pretty much get used to how many you need to hit before you're going to kill your opponent. Obviously, headshots aside. Outside that 27 meter damage range, it's 34 damage to the head and 23 damage to everywhere else. This weapon also boasts a fantastic fire rate of 811 rounds per minute. This is higher than a lot of the meta ARs, such as the AK-47 and also the XM4. The weapon also has a very good muzzle velocity of 850 meters per second, which you can further increase with attachments. That's similar to the ammo count of 30, which you can increase with other attachments. The reload speed is also good at just over 2.5 seconds. As I said in this game, I'm going to be building the weapon as a long-range beamer. For that, I'd recommend several attachments, the first of which being the monolithic suppressor. For a penalty of 24 milliseconds ADS, with the monolithic suppressor you get 170 millisecond bonus muzzle velocity, as well as 5% reductions to both your horizontal and vertical kick. This is obviously on top of the sound suppression and the keeping you off the radar, so that you're less likely to be third-partied. For the barrel, you could use a Corvus Custom Marksman, but the barrel I've gone for is the stock M16 Grenadier. For the cost of 74 milliseconds ADS, some minor movement speed decreases, and also some damage to your hip fire, you get an additional 581 meters per second muzzle velocity, as well as a massive 17% reduction to both your vertical and horizontal kick. If you went for the Corvus Custom Marksman, you would get 510 instead of 581 meters per second increase, and 15% decreases to all of your horizontal and vertical kick. Though you would get a much better ADS time, as this only reduces your ADS by 56 milliseconds instead of 74. So it's up to you whether you decide you want something a little bit snappier with better ADS, or whether you want slightly lower recoil and slightly better bullet velocity. For me, I went for the M16 Grenadier barrel. The third attachment I would recommend is the VLK 3x optic. This gives you the required magnification to identify and hit targets at long range, but on top of this, it also gives you a 10% reduction to both your horizontal and vertical kick. This is all for a minor ADS penalty of 40 milliseconds. The underbarrel I would recommend is the Commando foregrip. This, surprisingly, actually reduces your ADS time by 28 milliseconds. On top of that, it also reduces your horizontal and vertical kick by 9%. This is all just for some very minor movement speed penalties. Lastly, you've got two choices in regards to the magazine. If you're playing solos or duos, you could choose to use the 50 round mag. For a minor 8 millisecond ADS time, you do gain 20 extra bullets, or you can go for 30 extra for double that penalty of 16 milliseconds. These both also come with some movement speed penalties, with double the penalty for the 60 round mag. In this gameplay, I think I've actually gone for the 60 round mag, as I do enjoy having those couple of extra bullets available to me when I need them. But either one is a good choice. The end result is you get a magnificent weapon with huge bullet velocity of 1601 meters per second. You've decreased both your horizontal and vertical recoil by 41%, so it's very easy for you to stay on target at long range. And speaking of range, you've actually pushed out your first damage range all the way out to 40 meters, so this weapon can challenge at mid-range pretty effectively. So, on to the gameplay. As you see in the background, this is duos. Still, the weapon performs absolutely fantastically and shouldn't have much of a bearing of how it performs compared to solos or duos. You should be able to see that this weapon is an absolute beamstick, and hopefully you do enjoy what you see. I do get a lot of kills in this game. I think I end on 26 by the time we get the win. Unfortunate to not get the 30, but happy with a 26 kill game nonetheless. So I'm going to leave you there, and I'll come back at the end for my final review and final thoughts of what I think of this weapon. I hope you enjoy.
Your teammate was broken. They're no longer with us. Victory rests on your shoulders. Finish the mission. Enemy UAV active. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Aid station over here.
Right on your tail.
Aid station over here. Mark on the grid. Let's go. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Moving here.
Yeah, move it.
Bounty contract identified.
UAV active. Bounty target identified. Have a little fun, yeah?
That's it. Back at it. Got him. You got this.
Eye station costs are adjusted. Time to cover your tracks. There's an enemy team hunting for you. Contact!
Moving.
Enemy UAV active. Gas is right on your tail. Prices are back to normal. It's just left. Finish it. The bounty target is down. Oh.
Repositioning. Repositioning.
This is the gulag. Survive this and you get to redeploy. You have to wait for now. You win this fight and you return to the front line, but if you lose, you're done. Fight you got your hands dirty. Right on your tail.
And now.
Enemy UAV active. Enemy UAV active.
Armor here.
Gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Bounty contract identified.
Loadout drop headed your way. Enemy UAV active. He's moving. Target is up. Take him down.
We're in the safe zone.
Enemy vehicle!
Aim and cover your tracks. There's an enemy team hunting for you. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Contract failed. Your time ran out. Enemy UAV active. We've got gas moving in.
There, moving. He's their sight. Mark out. I'm going.
Mark the target.
I'm moving.
Need a gas mask?
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
He's their sight.
Losing ground. Moving.
Enemy hostile fire.
Mission accomplished. All targets eliminated.
Okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Lots of kills in there, 26. Fantastic game and a good win, and lots of kills with the M4 itself. So hopefully showcased that this weapon performs at a multitude of ranges. The one thing I would say with this weapon is it can perform very well at a lot of ranges, though it does have slightly more horizontal bounce than some of the other weapons. Personally, I don't think it's as good as the XM4 or the Black Ops Cold War M4 in that it has a lot more horizontal bounce, whereas that kicks directly upwards. Whilst that has a slower fire rate, it does also have slightly more damage per bullet, so it feels like you're putting opponents down that little bit quicker because you require one less shot to kill. Not that this weapon has enormous horizontal bounce, but compared to that, it does have slightly more. It also feels like it has more horizontal bounce than, say, the Kilo, which I previously reviewed. Though this gun does also put people down very quickly. But I just feel like it's still not quite as good as that Kilo. So, final review. I'll probably give this gun about the same rating as I gave the Grau. This has slightly more recoil than the Grau, but feels like it hits a lot harder. So I'll probably put it around the same ballpark. So I'll give this a 7 out of 10. Whilst it's not meta, it's definitely viable and definitely usable. If those of you who have a bit of a nostalgic edge and want to try some of the old school guns and see how they perform, definitely give the M4A1 a go because it's more than usable within Caldera. Anyway, that's everything I have to offer for now. I really hope you've enjoyed the gameplay. If you have, please drop a like, please subscribe. I am releasing many more of these solos or duos weapons reviews and trying to find some of the best, lesser used guns. If you do, I really hope to see you on the next one.